still under oath, sir?
Yes, my lady.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Ruth.
Apologies. Thank you, my lady. Mr. Lina, I'm going to put a number of statements to your propositions. So please listen to them carefully. You can either agree, disagree, or maybe you don't know. The one is that, and I'm solely referring to the Tasha restaurant incident, okay? The one is that there were no alcohol, it was all soft drinks today.
That is correct.
And the restaurant was quite noisy inside.
That is correct, my lady.
And what Mr. Pistorius instructs me on, he says that if Mr. Fresco told him that the firearm was one up, he definitely did not hear it. He says it was a noisy restaurant. He wanted to look at the firearm because it was, but he did not hear him saying that.
Well, I cannot confirm that. Maybe Mr. Pistorius can confirm that.
Yeah. But it was noisy.
Yes, it was.
My impression was that you too, when you gave evidence, that you were sort of unsure what exactly he said, Mr. Fresco said.
I was unsure of the noise levels, and with regards to what Mr. Fresco said, I was sitting next to him, my lady, so I do remember what Mr. Fresco said. Noise levels were loud, yes they were.
But Mr. Pistorius was sitting further away from me.
Opposite me.
Yes. Opposite you, but further away from Mr.
Fresco.
Yes.
Fresco.
Yes. And I wanted to check for myself, so to speak, and I look at Mr. Rooney's statement, that's, I believe, one of the state witnesses, and I also could not find in his statement that he could hear, or that he did hear, that Fresco was saying that. So what I'm saying, I don't say to you, Mr. Fresco didn't say it, but I say to you, Mr. Pistorius did not hear that.
Sorry, I lost you when you said Mr. Roo's statement.
Rooney, Mr. Rooney.
Okay, all right.
He was also there. It's also not in his statement that he heard that.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. But would it make sense if I told you, if that's my instruction, that Mr. Pistorius did not hear it?
Well, like I said, my lady, I can't speak for Mr. Pistorius, and I cannot speak for sound level. I'm not an expert, but it is a restaurant in an enclosed and found area, so yes, it is noisy.
Yeah. And he says what happened then when the firearm was handed to him underneath the table, and he wanted to make sure that it's safe. And he opened the breech of the firearm to ensure that it was safe, and it was in that process that a shot went off.
Okay, my lady, well, if that is the case from Mr. Pistorius' side, I cannot confirm because it was under the table. I did not see the firearm. I don't know what he did with his hands. I don't know.
He said that he was utterly shocked. I think you can help us there.
Yes, he was. He was very shocked and very apologetic.
But he says before he was apologetic, he was angry with Mr. Fresco. And he confronted him, wanted to know, why did you give me a firearm with that was one up, so to speak, and one with a magazine on? He was upset. He confronted him about that.
I cannot confirm that. I can't remember that.
Do you say it's not so, or do you say you can't remember?
Well, I can't remember whether he was cross with him or not. I do remember clearly he was very, very surprised, very shocked and apologetic towards me. That I do remember.
And then what he also said to me, he wanted to know from him, what if someone got hurt? He was upset about that as well. He says, what if someone got hurt? When he was speaking to Mr. Fresco.
My lady, I don't remember Mr. Pistorius saying that, so if I said yes, I would be lying.
Well, if you say no, would you also be lying?
Well, what you're asking me, if I may state correctly, is that he's saying he was very upset and very wary is if somebody got hurt, he'd be cross with himself. Is that what you're asking me?
Now, he was upset because he didn't realize that it was one up. He was upset with Mr. Fresco handing him the firearm with one up and that it was a magazine, and he didn't realize that.
Well, I never ever discussed that with Mr. Pistorius, so if that's what he's saying, that's what he's saying. I've never discussed that with him, so I don't know his emotion.
It's a difficulty not with you, that my understanding that you were really shocked.
I was shocked, yes. It was the first time in a confined environment that a shot's gone off around me, so I was very shocked, yes.
So what I'm trying to get from you, Mr. Lina, is we can have one of three answers. I didn't hear him say that, he could have said it, or two, he definitely did not say it.
I didn't hear him say that.
Yeah, but you can't say he definitely did not say that.
No, because I'll be quoting and I cannot quote on that.
Yes.
I'm not sure, Mr. Rue, I follow. You are saying he said something. I thought you said he was shocked, he was upset.
He was shocked,
Yes.
upset, and he said three things. The one was, and I take you through it. The one was that he was upset for him and angry for him giving him a firearm that was loaded with a magazine on.
Like I said, my lady, I never heard Mr. Pistorius showing his emotion towards Mr. Fresco, so I cannot confirm that statement.
But you can't say it's not so.
I can't say it's not so either.
The second point is he was concerned, he expressed that, because he thought someone could have been hurt.
Well, I suppose in a controlled and in refined environment like that, he could have been, because he was very apologetic towards me and asked, the first thing he did ask, is everybody okay?
Yes.
He did ask that, yes.
He said that was a big concern, that someone could get hurt.
He did ask, is everybody okay?
Yeah. And he said the third thing that he said, he asked Darren if he understood what would happen if this comes out, meaning if this incident is out there in the outside world. Didn't use exact words, but he asked him, can you understand what would happen if this gets out?
Well, my lady, as I said when I was up here previously, I said he did make sure, I don't remember him saying I'm concerned, but I do know that he said if it did get out, it would be like we don't want it to get out, so no one spoke about it. Well, no, most certainly I never.
Yes, he said what happened then? What happened then, and I will refer you to Rooney's statement. He was apologetic then, and he said, I'm sorry about it, it's my fault, meaning because he had it in his possession, and it was then in that process of him apologizing, following him saying what would happen if it gets out, that Mr. Fresco said, and I want to tell you what he said. He said to him, that he would say that the firearm went off, and he's not sure about this, but that it either hooked to his pants or dropped to the ground or something like that. That he would say that he...
My lady, you're referring to Mr. Fresco now?
Yes.
Yes, well, like I said before, I can agree with him saying Oscar was very apologetic with regards to what was said to Mr. Fresco. I cannot say I remember because I didn't hear it, and I cannot say it's not true. But what I do remember is when Mr. Fresco spoke to the restaurant owners, he did say the gun was caught on my pants.
Yes.
To take the rap for Oscar, I don't know what was named, but Mr. Fresco did take the blame.
And I'm reading now from a statement of Mr. Rooney, whether it's true or not. In that process, he says, I and Darren kept on telling Oscar not to talk because he was apologetic all the time and apologizing. And they said to him, just keep quiet, don't talk. Fresco was going to say now that it hooked either on his pants or it dropped to the ground or something like that. Would that be consistent with what you remember?
Yes, my lady, that is correct. Well, like I said, I don't remember, I cannot tell you what Mr. Rooney said, but I can confirm that Oscar was very apologetic.
Yes. And he said that he also apologized to the owner, he offered to pay for the damages, and he paid the bill.
I don't know about that. I know when the owners came over, from the last thing I remember is that Darren Fresco told the owners it was him. You must understand, I was in complete shock.
Yes.
So for me, a gunshot went off next to me. It was by mistake, no intent whatsoever. I was in shock, you know, so for me, I cannot quote word for word what was exactly said.
Oscar was, Mr. Pistorius was openly apologetic, apologizing all the time.
Yes, he did. He was very apologetic, my lady.
You weren't in a car with him afterwards?
No, I wasn't.
Thank you, my lady. I have no further questions.
Yes, Mr. Nell?
That's good. Please, Mr. Lina, just one issue. Think carefully. Just after the shot was fired, everybody was shocked. That we understand.
You mean everybody at the table?
Yes.
Okay.
What did Mr. Pistorius say to Fresco?
Well, once the shot was fired, Mr. Pistorius, my lady, was in complete shock from what I do remember. The first things he said were he was apologetic. I cannot say where he said, I'm very sorry, I'm sorry Kev, I'm sorry Darren, but he was very apologetic. That part I do remember.
And then?
And then after that, I know that Mr. Fresco took the blame. I cannot quote word for word what Mr. Pistorius said, but he did say, like, Fresco take the blame because this can be big, like Mr. Roos said. So for me, I do know that he was very apologetic, and thereafter that Darren Fresco took the blame. I cannot quote word for word what was said.
You shouldn't quote word for word. That's fine. We understand that. But did Mr. Pistorius say anything about somebody should take the blame? What can you remember?
Well, Darren Fresco took the blame for that, and Mr. Pistorius obviously addressed it and saying this can be big. And like, I cannot confirm that Mr. Rooney said Darren take the blame, or Darren said I'll take the blame. But from what I remember is Mr. Pistorius spoke to Darren, and then Darren took the rap as the restaurant owners came, saying it was his gun and it caught on his pants.
Okay, nothing.
Mr. Lina, thank you very much for your assistance. You may be excused.
Thank you, my lady.
Later call the next witness, Mr. Jason Lupus.
His witness number? Mr. Nell?
Number 66, my lady.
66. Thank you.
There's a small delay. It's just Junior is talking to the witness about him being on TV or not. I haven't had the opportunity to in depth discuss it with him. But I will address the court as soon as I have information.
Thank you. While we're waiting, can I just confirm that the witness who has just been excused, that evidence was in respect of count 2?
Indeed.
Yes, thank you.
My lady, the next witness, Mr. Lupus, informed us just now that he would also seek an exclusion from the order. I know that the court order reads that 24 hours before a witness gives evidence in writing, we have to address this issue. We haven't. Lots of things went wrong today. The witness is here. I argue that the court will excuse the fact that we did not comply with the 24 hours, and that I can still bring the application that this witness would not want his face to be shown. Yes. For the exact same reason, my lady, as we've set out in argument about the other witnesses.
Yes.
And therefore, I don't think I'll have any opposition from the defense, and I respectfully argue that the court will make the order.
Mr. Roux?
We do not oppose that. Thank you, my lady.
Do not oppose it. I'll grant the same order that I've granted yesterday.
As God pleases. I then call Mr. Lupus.
May I also just mention one thing? There was a concern that the order did not cover the print media. It does cover the print media. I just want to make that plain.
As God pleases me.
The print media is not excluded from the order that I made yesterday. Please swear the witness in.
What are your full names, sir?
Excuse me.
Your full names?
Jason Lupus.
Do you have any objection in taking the prescribed oath?
No, I don't.
You find it to be binding on a conscience?
I do.
If so, do you say that the evidence you have about this will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, raise your right hand up and say, so help me God.
So help me God.
What was the son, my lady?
Thank you very much. You may be seated, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Mill.
As the court pleases, my lady. Mr. Lupus, you're the owner of Tasha's restaurant in Melrose Arch, is that correct?
Yes, I am, my lady.
Now, Tasha's restaurant, is that open to the public?
Yes, it is.
Do you know the accused before court, Mr. Pistorius?
Yes, I do.
Where did you meet him?
I met him, I don't remember exactly where, but I've met him on one or two occasions.
That's fine. And what we want you to testify about is an incident at your restaurant in January 2013. What happened that day?
If I remember, it was the 11th of January. It was Friday. It was quite busy around lunchtime.
If you say quite busy, what do you mean? How many patrons there been?
The restaurant was full.
And that would be how many people?
About 220 people.
Okay.
And I saw Oscar and Kevin Lina and Darren Fresco and I think Mr. Rooney being seated inside the restaurant, on the inside section of the restaurant. And then I carried on attending to the lunchtime working of the restaurant. And I heard a loud bang, which I thought could have sounded like a gun, but I was hoping not. I thought maybe it was a balloon or something else, but I went in.
Yes.
I went inside to investigate, see what happened, and I went in the direction of the noise, where Kevin and Oscar and them were sitting, and I asked the guys, I said, guys, what happened here?
Yes.
And they all looked at me, and then I said, no, seriously guys, what happened here? And Mr. Fresco said to me, sorry Jason, my gun fell out my tracksuit pants. And then I said, are you guys being serious? Because this is not a joke.
Why did you think it was serious?
because I thought someone could get hurt.
Yes, what happened then?
Then I walked away because I was looking around to see if everyone was all right. Looked like everything was all right, and get the place back because everything went quiet. Get the place back into normal working, and I went outside. I mentioned it to my wife. I said, "Can you believe that was a gun?" And then I think she went and spoke to them at the table.
Just a moment. Yes.
And then after that, shortly after that, they paid the bill, I think, and left. They apologized and left.
It's not in dispute, but I just want to run the photographs past you. Just have a look in that file that you have in front of you. Yeah, you had the right exhibit open in front of you. Is that photograph marked 1132?
Yes, it is.
Is that your restaurant?
It is.
And the seating space outside and inside?
That's correct.
If you go to the second photograph, 1133, is that your restaurant?
That is.
If we go to 1134, you recognize that?
Yes, I do. That's the table that Oscar and his friends were sitting at.
The one that's marked with the arrow.
That's correct.
And if we go to the next photograph, 1135, that's just a different angle from the same table.
Same table, yeah.
1136.
That's the same table looking out.
Now, if we have a look at 1136, the two tables where the accused and his friends were sitting.
Yes,
And then next to it, the other table.
yes.
Were there people there
Yes, there were.
sitting at that table?
There were.
1137. That's the same table marked with a red arrow.
That's the same table.
If we get to 1138, it's possible for you to indicate who sat where.
Yes, it is.
Using the numbers, could you please indicate?
Okay. Number 1 was Oscar. Number 2 was Kevin Lina. Number 4 was Darren Fresco. And number 3 was Mr. Rooney.
Now, when you approached them and Mr. Fresco gave you an explanation, did the accused, Mr. Pistorius, say anything?
No.
Now, if you turn the page to the following photograph, 1139, there's a little circle drawn around damage to the floor.
Yes?
That damage was caused how?
Well, it wasn't there.
Before the shot?
Yeah.
Wasn't there before the shot, and after the shot it was there.
Yeah.
You've inspected that the damage. Can you confirm that in 1140 it's the same damage
That's
that we're referring
correct, yes.
to? And can you confirm that 1141 is a close-up of the damage
That's correct, yeah.
to the restaurant? Now, since this incident happened, have you had opportunity to speak to the accused again, Mr. Pistorius?
No, I haven't.
Has he been back to the restaurant?
No.
Of nothing further.
Yes, Mr. Roux.
Thank you, my lady. Mr. Lupus, Mr. Pistorius will say he paid the bill,
That's correct.
and in paying the bill he apologized to you and he also asked to pay the damage, and you said it was fine.
I don't recall. I don't remember that. I remember that they all apologized.
The others may also have apologized. He specifically also apologized.
Yes,
he apologized.
they all apologized, yes, yes.
And he offered to pay for the damage and he said it was fine and he paid the bill.
I don't remember.
You can't say it's not so, you just don't remember.
Yeah, I just don't remember.
I have no further questions. Thank you, my lady. I'm sorry, my lady. Thank you, my lady. I have no further questions.
Sorry.
No.
I jumped the gun. No.
No, that's fine.
No, I thought that the court is done with this witness.
Pardon?
I thought that this witness would be excused now.
Oh, I see. Thank you very much
Thank you, my lady.
for your assistance.
I call
You may be
Maria
excused.
Lupus.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I call Maria Lupus. My lady, again, exact same position. I also seek an order as far as she's concerned.
Yes. I grant the order as asked.
As good pleases.
The witness may be sworn in.
What are your full names, ma'am?
Maria Lupus.
Maria Lupus is the witness's name, Your Worship. Ma'am, do you have any objection in taking the prescribed oath?
No.
Doesn't have any objection, Your Worship. You consider it to be binding on your conscience?
Yes.
If so, do you swear that the evidence you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth? If so, just raise your right hand up and say so help me God.
So help me God.
Witness is sworn in, Maria.
Thank you very much. You may be seated.
Madam, the previous previous witness, Mr. Jason Lupus, do you know him?
Yes.
Who's he?
My husband.
It's your husband. There's not a lot in dispute as far as this count is concerned. At the day at your restaurant at Tasha's, the accused and 3 other friends were there, and the incident happened. You were there.
Yes.
You heard a loud noise, did you?
Yes.
You heard a loud noise?
Yes.
What happened then? After.
There was just silence in the restaurant. I stayed seated and then my husband came and told me what
You'd have to speak a little louder.
Sorry.
Okay, you said, let's do it again. You say there was a loud noise. What happened then?
I stayed seated and my husband came and told me what happened.
You were seated, where were you?
Outside, in the outside seating area.
In the outside seating area. And your husband told you what?
That a gunshot had gone off.
What did you then do?
I asked if anyone went and spoke to them. He said yes, and then I also went and spoke to them.
You went there to talk to them?
To Darren.
Okay, you say to Darren.
Yes.
Do you know the people at the table?
I knew 3 people at the table.
Who did you know?
Darren, Kevin, and Oscar. Not personally, but I knew of him.
Let us just then, there's a file in front of you. There's photographs open. Could you see if you can find 1138? It's not in dispute that number 1 is where the accused Oscar Pistorius sat. Number 2 is where Kevin. And where did Fresco sit? Down.
4.
And number 4. So you went to the table.
Yes.
What happened when you got to the table?
I asked what had happened.
Yes. What? Who said what?
Just Darren spoke to me and he told me the gun fell out of his pants, his tracksuit pants, and went off. And then I asked him, but what's the first rule of owning a gun? Safety first.
I didn't hear that.
I asked him what was the first rule of owning a gun. Shouldn't it be safety first? And he said yes, and then I hit him over the head.
But when you asked him, did the accused say anything, Mr. Pistorius?
No.
Did the accused, Mr. Pistorius, give you any explanation that day?
No.
When you approached them, were you alone?
I went with my friend.
With your friend?
Yes.
Was your husband present?
No.
I have nothing further.
Yes, Mr. Roo.
Thank you, my lady. It's Lupus. I can't say that you were there, but I've put it to your husband that Mr. Pistorius, in fact, apologized to your husband and offered to pay for the damages and paid for the bill.
I saw him take out his credit card and pay for the bill.
I didn't get
I'm
that
sorry,
answer.
I said I saw him pay for the bill.
Oh, so you went there, you just saw him paying for the bill. Then the other thing, you did not know until your husband told you that it was a gun that went off.
No, didn't know.
It was a sound, a hard sound.
A very, very loud sound.
Understanding from your husband's evidence, he thought it might be a gun or it might be a balloon.
It was louder than a balloon. It was much louder than a balloon.
But you did not know it was a gun.
No.
Thank you, my lady.
My lady, I've got one more question. I think it would be new evidence. I beg leave to just ask one question. I'm sure Mr. Roo will be able to challenge that after I've asked the question. It's just something that slipped my mind. I forgot to ask.
I'll allow that.
Madam, in the restaurant, if you turn to photograph, let's go 1134. Now, the accused were at that table where the red arrow is. Were there people next to them?
Yes, there was.
What do you remember of the people next to them?
There's no chair there now, but there was a chair facing on the side there, and there was a child sitting there.
A child in a chair?
Yeah.
So that chair, as you indicate, just have a look at the screen and just indicate the court and I'll describe
The
it.
chair was here.
So there was a chair between the accused table and the next table.
Yes.
And there was a child sitting on that chair.
That's right.
I have nothing further, madam.
Yes, Mr. Roo.
Maybe just to put it on record, on the side of the table and on the other side there's solid walls
On which side?
where Mr. Pistorius was sitting.
In the Yes.
Thank you, my lady.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Lupus, thank you very much for your assistance.
Thank
You
you.
may be excused.
May it please the court, I'm then forced to ask that we adjourn till tomorrow. We have that witness standing down, and we're doing what we can to ensure that we get the notes.
Thank you. We start at 9:30 tomorrow. Court will adjourn.
Milady?